Good evening, everyone, and or good morning. Good whatever it is. Last night I didn't get to sleep till like 4 a.m., so I was like, you know what? Rather than lay in my bed for 2 hours uselessly, at 2 a.m. I should just stream for a couple hours. I gotta get these maps done, you guys. You don't know how serious I am about this. I'm pretty darn serious. Oh, hey, I yawned. That's a good sign. Okay. I'm making a map frame right now. Adding little bits of grunge here and there. Do another layer. This is how I did it on this little quote thing. I did one layer and then added another one. Just got really intense with it. Alright, then I'm going to take this layer and just turn it down quite a bit. Looking for subtlety here, folks. Subtlety is my middle name. Alright, so right now there's this blue. Eventually what will be there is some cool map. Actually, let me grab a map right now just to get a feel for it. Where's my map at? There we go. This already has grunge built around it, but future ones will not. Something along these lines. Okay. Now hopefully this will be a good proportion for the page. So this quote will be replaced by a different quote for each chapter. Okay. Hey Sigrid, how you doing? Out of curiosity, what time is it over there in your parts? I'm often tempted to stream at 2 in the morning my time, but then I'm like, but then by the time I'm done with the stream, it's gonna take me a couple hours to like chill out after that, and then I'm not asleep until the sun's up. And that's just not a good habit to get in when, you know, you got doctor's appointments to take your wife to, or you got interviews you should be doing, that sort of thing. Okay, so this is good and set. I think save as map and quote template. 10 a.m. there? Okay. Good morning. Monday morning, I guess, huh? Guess technically it's Monday morning here too. Okay. Here we go, good. I'm gonna make you all sleepy this morning by yawning constantly. That's my evil plan. Flatten this image. Save it as ye olde JPEG. And so I guess I'll be copying it over the quote frame. Maybe I should just have it. So these are chapter frames. This would be, just call it Scarred King I Chapter 1 map. Although technically there is no Chapter 1 map. I guess there's no reason not to. Yeah, I might as well make the island via on there. Okay, fine. Chapter 1 map. And then there'll be a Chapter 2 map, Chapter 3 map, etc., etc. Okay, saving it at 9, which is just barely on the edge of being tolerable to me. Like, the document is already 35 megs, which is ridiculous for a Word document. Because what I've got going on right now, really, it's this or a million pages. Can't I just make it normal? Okay. So right now I've got, let's see. All the chapters start with an illustration like so. And then, so like in chapter 2, you can see it's got like, here's a map and a thing. And so this is basically what I'm wanting to replace. So might as well start with chapter 1. So we go here. And I'm supposed to not hit enter, but somehow there's some magical way to make the images, because like, look at all of this part of the page. What is this? How do I make this, how do I make an image fill this page without hitting enters, right? If I hit enter, it can go down. But apparently that breaks it for ebooks. Either way, after I get all the images in, I'm going to have to do futzing with it, so. Okay, so we're going to insert pictures. Okay. Illustrations, Guard King 1. And now we're going to have this guy. Boom. There it goes. Okay. Huh. So, if I click up here and backspace, will it let me see? It doesn't. Why does it not pull the image up? Like, it just has it dangle off the bottom of the page like a jerk. See if I delete enough of them, we'll do it. And then at some point you can't backspace. And it's just like, nah, you just can't backspace now. That's just the rules. Randomly, these are just the rules. For no apparent reason. There's some little box with an anchor in it that I'm not allowed to delete for some reason. I hate words so much. Did that delete it? By selecting stuff above and below. Let's just pretend any of this is the safe, right thing to do. Which I'm quite sure it's not. Okay, well, wait, what did that do? I moved it to this page. Such a disaster. What is this? What happens if I delete it? Deletes the whole image. Of course. Amazing. Yeah, so here's the thing. I know a million people who have indie, self-published their own books and gone through the process. I don't know anyone, and I don't even know how to look this up, who's like an expert in inserting images into a Word document. It seems like it's this black art that no one knows and no one has done. And it infuriates me that it's this hard. Okay, well, for whatever reason, that fit on the page, as far as I can tell. It's like, is it in the margins? I think so. Because there are some images, like down, let's see, this one, for instance. This one, right? It's like, it's hanging off the edge. We had to change the margins a couple weeks back, and then I had to delete and reinsert all of the images. And some of them don't, are still hanging off weird. And one thing that I did read is that you should not be resizing your images. And I don't know if that's just because it's written for dummies who don't realize if you scale an image up, that's going to ruin its resolution, or if changing the resolution at all screws it up for printing. I don't know that. In most applications, Photoshop, whatever, if you scale a thing down, you're generally safe. Scaling up is always bad. So I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that scaling stuff down is okay. Anyway, so what I'm hoping to do is get placeholder map in front of every chapter and a placeholder image. Okay, so this is all one thing. Can I replace this image? Oh, this is two images. So there's cut. But I want delete. Why is there not a delete? Because cutting usually means it puts it on your what's it called, board. So now I'm in this stupid little anchor box. Hitting backspace made it go away? No, it's still there. Anyway, let's see what happens if I put this in. Like, so for some reason it's just ridiculously close to the bottom of the page there this time. The other one wasn't that ridiculously close, was it? I guess it is. Now I have this big old dumb empty page here. So can I delete this big dumb empty page with the tiny font here for no reason? Aha, look. When I cut the thing, it's still hung out somewhere. And I can't delete it. Delete button just does nothing. Who do I talk to? Like, who can I pay money? I will just dump money on your lap if you can solve this. If you can just put the pictures in my damn document and they just work. This should not be this hard. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing the review stuff. I don't know how to turn that off. I know I could stop tracking changes, but I don't want to do that. I could accept them to make them go away. I just want to not see it right now, right? No idea how to do that. Every time I Google this stuff, there's like 20 different articles from like 15 to 5 years ago on every different version of Word. It's all different. This is just the rant. Oh, look, the reason I'm seeing this is because this is telling me that this was deleted. So what is this called? What is this side garbage called that I want to just hide while I'm doing work on it? This is the review panel. If I'm not in the review panel, does it go away? No. But at least that explains why I couldn't delete it. Because this is just saying, hey, in history, Josh Foreman deleted these images. Can I accept these changes? So, display for review, all markup. Can I change this to no markup? Okay. Hopefully that didn't fundamentally alter anything in the reality of the document, only what I'm seeing. But who knows? I could have just completely effed over everything. This is super fun. I love this part of making books. What is this garbage? Just be gone forever. All I want is for you to be gone forever. Okay, well, chapter ends. Here's this page with the map and a quote. Here's the next chapter. Yay, okay. Let's see what kind of adventure we're going to come to on this one. So, what happens if I just change the picture? I'm guessing it could screw up the scale. Yeah, look at that. It's like, I'm gonna make you tiny. I'm gonna make it tiny because that's just the cool thing to do. Okay, do I want to delete all this? Well, what happens if I put the picture in here? Okay, so it's cool that it's in the page. Why is it pushed all the way to the side randomly? Why? Why? Oh. What if I put it at the bottom of this page instead? For whatever reason, I have to enter twice in order to go down there. Still off to the side. Is it... Does it need to be centered? Okay, so there was this thing. This garbage. So these are styles, maybe they're called? Styles, yes. So I believe heading 3 we had assigned to illustrations. And that should say, oh look! It actually did it. It centered it. Oh wow, okay. Maybe this will solve problems. Let's see, is this in 3? This is heading 1. So we'll change it to heading 3. And that deletes it. Sure, why would it not just delete it? That makes perfect sense. I select this image. I say use heading 3. It deletes it. Or does something to hide it. This is a nightmare. A living nightmare. Okay, well, you know, I'm just gonna, for now, the rule is if it looks right, I'm just gonna leave it for now. Of course, who knows if what I'm looking at has any resemblance to what the actual file is. So now there's this blank page here. Can I just backspace it away? Kind of, but now this is not in the right place. Can I backspace it up to the top? Now backspace doesn't work. If I go down here, I'm now apparently in this, and so I'm guessing, oh no, backspace did work, but at some point it's going to take it out of the like little centered thing. That's as high as I can get it. Let's see if 2 is like that. I guess they might all be that far below. Okay, that's the normal distance. Okay. Delete. Delete. Now, do I want to add this at the top of this page or at the bottom? Or does it even make a difference? And look, this dumb little box is apparently still there. Doesn't matter that I specifically said to delete it. I hope someone from Microsoft is watching this agony that I'm going through right now. Alright. I'm going to see what happens if I insert from here. Okay. It's in the middle of the page. It's set to normal, not to head. Let's see what happens. Can I do heading 3? Or will it delete it randomly? I did heading 3 and nothing changed. So that's probably cool. And this whole page of blank is now there. Okay, backspacing seemed to work. And so the fact that there's like nothing in this part makes sense to me, because what this is telling me is that if this were to scroll, it would be a space down and then this image would start, right? But since it's broken into pages, it's going to be on the next page because the image is too big to fit in the amount of space left on that page. And so why am I holding my tablet? Just out of curiosity, if I backspace here, just can't backspace anymore. Okay, fine. Don't care. Alright, that was 4. Time for the next adventure. Chapter 5. Okay, so deleting that leaves the box. So I'm going to see what happens if I just select all this space, backspace there. Then I'm going to set it to heading 3. What did that do? I don't know. Like, I don't even know where my cursor is anymore. Okay. Okay, so deleting all that space did nothing as far as like making there not be a blank page. But I think it's good when I see the cursor up here and going down takes me to the image. I think that's good and right. Oh, don't want to do that. Need that little chapter number there. Although, are they all one space above? No. No, there's no space above the other ones. Why is there a space between 6 and the image here? I literally can't. That's what, backspace? Nothing? I delete, nothing. If I select this and hit back, deletes it. Incredible. Alright, well, that's a small enough bug that I'm willing to let that slide. That. Don't want my itty bitty number to be pulled up onto that page. Here's another one where there's a space between the number and the thing. But this is set to center instead of heading 3. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm misremembering. No, heading 3 is the one we chose for illustrations, so I do not understand. Let's see what the other chapter headings are. Also center. If I hit heading 3, yeah, it scooches that up a little bit. Why these were all changed to no longer be heading 3. Might be a good reason for it, but my guess is like everything else, it's just because we don't know what the hell we're doing. No spacing on this one. Huh. Yeah, well, I'm going to make them all consistent when I can. For whatever reason, when I try to apply a heading 3 to these guys, that time, that one worked, but some of them delete. Even though it's the same image. Like, what? 3, okay. Heading 3. Deletes that one. I feel like this one should be centered. Oh, center you're not allowed to be? Alright, we got up to 7, right? Yes. 8. Why is there no quote frame here at all? That's weird. And this one's off to the side for whatever reason. Setting it to heading 3 works on that one, particular one, for, again, whatever reason. Can't go any further on that for whatever reason. Like if Word was a game, it would have the worst reviews. It'd be like if you're playing Super Mario and sometimes the jump button made you jump, but other times it made you duck. And every once in a while it would give you a fire flower. Hey Punisher, how you doing? Yeah, heading 3 is the proper heading for illustrations. Okay. Why does it want to be in this dumb little... Whatever, I'm going to stop asking questions. Just going to get it to look as close as possible, and then in a panic try to find someone who's expert. You know what? I live 10 miles from Microsoft. I've got to know someone, even on the development team of Word, who can help me. This one's set to 3. Yes. Can't delete unless you select multiple rows. What is that all about? God, this is ridiculous. That one's in there. That's also heading 3. In there. Heading 3. Weird. What the what? Why would that happen? Oh my god. It's so random. This is not like playing Mario with the broken rules. This is like playing Cat Mario, purposefully, or Super Adventure Box Tribulation Mode for Word. Speaking of which, let's save, shall we? Speaking of not being able to save, let's try to save. Okay. And this one's set to center. Okay, so if I put it to heading 3, see what happens. It moves it down for some reason. There's like no way to... There's a little space there. Why is there a space? Deleting that space deletes the whole image. Certainly not what I wanted. Make this 3. That's another one that will randomly delete if you make it number 3. Super cool. Okay, and this goes from there to here. Perfect. The little porpoise is looking good. That guy's looking good. This guy's off the reservation. You know what? I'll bet that's a racist term. Never even thought of it, but I bet you anything that's racist. Okay. Oh, weird. Okay. Interesting. So it was centered. This line was centered for whatever reason. I hit delete, takes me down to the image, and now the image is pushed over. Is this a rule that I'm learning? Let's see. Heading 3. What? What just happened? This makes no sense. What even happened? It just imploded all the images there. Please, Control Z work. Okay. Control Z again. Okay. All because I wanted to delete this randomly centered cursor. And it shouldn't be centered, right? It says it's normal. Paragraph, indentation, alignment, justified. Okay, if I go down to this line and do page back, what happens? Well, it looks like that center thing is away. So now with that center thing away, now can I hit heading 3? No. I will still simply delete the image. Okay. It's alright, it's there. It's there. When we see it in ebook, it may be halfway across the screen and sideways and upside down. But right now, in Word, I can see it. I'm really considering cutting this illustration. Brune just looks too weird. On the other hand, a commitment I made to myself is that all of these images are essentially placeholders right now until I have the time, inclination, or budget to hire someone better than me to do a better job at any of the particular designs. And I just need to be okay with that. It's the only way progress will ever be made. Okay, here's another tricky centered thing. For some reason, it looks centered. But if I hit the right arrow here, it takes me to the not centered. And then I can hit backspace. And when I go down, that little centered thing is gone. But for some reason, this will not... Wait. Now there's a spot here. Okay, well. Boom. Okay. Alright. Chalk that up to the whatevers. This guy fits. Wonder... That's exactly how big it can be. Alright. That is how big you shall be. in with that middle thing. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there. Hit delete. Does nothing. Back. Does nothing. No, oh! Now it started doing things. Okay, interesting. I need to just go with the flow. Just accept I will not understand what is happening, like I do in the rest of my life. My ontology, my teleology, my epistemology, all of those up in the air. I just don't know. And I'm at peace with the fact that I don't know those things. And I just need to be at peace. No, I don't want online pictures. At peace with the fact that I do not know why Word does what it does. Okay, will this kill things because it's in the middle? Backspace. Backspace worked. Backspace. Backspace. Okay. Rumschaffen fits. Nice. Scola, not fitting well. Cheetos, fitting just fine. Make them bigger. Oh, see, that's cool. That makes sense to me. Good job, Word. Look, I drag the picture down, it ghosts it out in the one spot and shows me where it's going to move. How brilliantly intuitive is that? Could they not do that for everything else? Software development's hard. I should not be so judgmental right now, but my hair's on fire trying to get this done. On the other hand, they've had 30-something years to make Word be the perfect word processing software. Exactly. Pinterest? No, I do not want Pinterest ever dinging my phone. No. Hold on. Is that under notifications? Block, allow, prioritize. There we go. Notifications. Pinterest. No. Bad, Pinterest. Bad. Who else? Word. No, I don't want to be notified when someone edits in Word. Calendar messages. Galaxy themes? No, I don't want Galaxy themes. No. Grr. Grr. Ah. Alright. Hey, hello, Gladius88. Thank you for following. I'm going to see what happens when I hit the magical heading 3. It centered it. Good. No amount of backspacing will save me. Maybe if I select it like that. Still no backs. Okay. Let's try doing this trick. Press the right arrow and then backspace from there. Nope. Okay. Is it because it's in heading 3 that it... Oh, there we go. I just had to slam enough buttons randomly to the point where I feel like I'm rage quitting, but I'm not actually. Okay. Oh, there we go. Alright. Oh, here's another guy I'd like to fix. Let me pop open my things to do list. Not that one. Stuff to do. Okay, Scarred King books. Maps. Working on it. Working on that. Illustrations. Here we go. Okay. Slack, the disk environment. Book 1 cover art. Almost there. Okay, so I need to add fix bow marks face in chapter 21 illustration. I would love to fix Stalix face. Oh, I need to add Jaditha. Wait, that is Jaditha, right? I believe so. Or was that the lighthouse keeper's wife? Who did I intend to draw her? Oh. I kind of feel like I need to find this out right now for some reason. Okay. This lady here, is she wait, no matches? Am I spelling it wrong? Oh, Jaditha. Okay. Description of Jaditha. Okay, she's being described as beautiful. It's already established their middle age or older. Adventure, adventure, adventure. Okay. At his host house, Stalix and Jaditha. A tall woman with a face strong enough to quell kings. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the one I was intending. This here is the woman with a face strong enough to quell kings. Let me go ahead and open that up. Should have a frame. Oh, frame grunge. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Got that. I have an action for it too. I can't remember which one it is. Open up. Actually, I could just go to here. already had her. I'm just gonna say I do not have enough time to do too much on this piece, and I'm okay with that. Let's just move it into our frame here. Okay, so There's my actions. Okay, I've got an art frame for 10 pixels. Is F2. But it's predicated on having the layers in a certain configuration. Let's see what happens when I hit F2, shall we? Hey. I think it just straight up worked. Okay. I'll take it. Image size. Here's something that's vexing me greatly. I have no idea how many pixels across the images should be, both for the ebook and for the printed book. Obviously, for the printed book, you want them as big as possible. For the ebook, you don't, because that makes a giant file. So just say okay to this. I'm gonna save it as. So what I've been trying to do is Jaditha. Save it first at its full resolution, maximum quality. Then I will image size it down considerably. Let's just say 800 wide. Oh my gosh. 800 wide. Even that seems big to me for some reason, but let's just see what it looks like. As small. And we turn image quality down to 9. Okay, back in Word. Put her right here. Okay, yeah, that's unnecessarily large for a relatively minor character. Let's try half that size. I could scale it down, right? But then it's, as far as I know, the image itself is still its full weight in data. make it heading 3. Good. And then it would be good if I can move the cursor down to be able to put how do I add the little text? Enter? No. Oh. Okay, so that's putting text before it. What if I do this? There we go. But this also needs to be, it all needs to be heading 3. Boom. Okay. And then shrinking it down so it's not, why is it not going up to the next page? Oh. Can I just drag it over here? No, it demands to sit over there. No matter how small I make it, I can make it this tiny. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So there is some limit. Good to know. Right there? Is that what I want? Yes. Okay. So what did I do? I dragged it over. Que sera, sera. While I'm clunking around in here, I should probably also put do I have shot of the Schlack? Ooh, I don't. Okay. Do I want to open ZBrush to get a render of it, or do I just want to put a placeholder in? I'll put a placeholder in. That did not do the trick. I think this guy needs to be on top. Okay. Yes. 800 is a good size, it seems like, for a full page. There's my beautiful picture of this amazing creature about to go in. Picture of one. That's not where I want it, ironically. And that is way too late. Okay, now we're getting to where we actually encounter one. Okay, here we go. Father waded up to the schlag, extended his hand. Da, 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 da. Okay, so right after all the description, it's usually where I want the picture to go. Why is there the letter D there? Did I? Oh, because I accidentally hit the D key. Okay. Now maybe, actually, if I type that, then insert here. And then select both of these together and say heading 3. Yes. Okay. Excellent. What were the other items on the list? The disc, we already have a placeholder for that. Added Jaditha in there. Already crossed something off my list. Amazing. Alright. Okay. I did get almost certain, got all of these. Nope. Fooled myself. Oh boy, did I fool myself. Got sidetracked because I saw this picture and I was like, oh, I gotta fix that. Okay. 21, is 20 done? 20 is done, okay. 21 it is. I wonder if there's a difference between delete and backspace in the code, as it were. What does this little guy mean? I don't know what it means, and I don't like it, and I don't want it to be there, because I'm just sure clicked on it and it took me down there. Oh, is this maybe, is this contextual? Did it actually do an edit? Control Z, just in case. And now it's not there. Hopefully it's just a contextual navigation thing and not an editing thing. Ah, what just changed? Okay. For whatever reason, deleting the line under here took away the indent. I can buy that there's a reason for that. All right, that's one of those. I'll give you that. Okay, so it looks like every illustration has this little arrow. What does it mean? Oh, is that what you do to add text to a thing? Oh. Oh, I did not like that. Okay. Being screwy. Heading 3 kind of fixed the screwy as far as I can tell, but did it really? What is happening up there? That header is messed up. I don't think I did that. But boy, I can't move that up. Oh, backspace. Did something delete, didn't it? Oh boy. Oh, I was afraid something bad was happening. But instead, as usual, just nothing. Nothing that I could perceive was happening. It's probably doing all sorts of terrible things under the surface. What if I backspace here? Ah. Okay, so I can get rid of spaces here, but I can't get this off the floor of the page. Good God. Let's see. Let's do it center. No, didn't help. Images intact. Okay. Oh, are there other images I needed in here? I feel like there was. What was it? There's lots of, you know, I would love to put another thing or two in there, but I'm far past that stage of like starting a new thing to put in there. I've got to get a better render of Scola. I've got to get a Schlack. I've got to get... Yeah, I'm gonna... in the disk scene. Alright, I'm gonna say, and I may change my mind after I've got some sleep, but I'm gonna say that this is now at a state where it's at least 99% complete as far as like the images, or at least placeholders for those images, are in place. So I can now say with definitive ease that this document is 18 pages long. Perfect. Yeah, we need to fix these headings. Okay. This document is 324 plus 18. Right, this was 18. Yeah. 324, 334, 354, minus 2 is 352. I'm going to write that down. I mean, 350 pages, more or less. Okay. Oh, the other thing I wanted to make sure I was doing, which means I need to hit up my friend here. Okay, need a final decision in crits. Okay, because I want to put all the names of my beta readers somewhere in the book. I assume at the end is the best place. I need to say editing and story development. I mean, most of the beta readers certainly had an impact on the story development, but there are certainly a few that went above and beyond. I want to make sure they're called out. How do you strip out formatting in Google Docs? And why is there an invisible space here? Okay, I'm just going to type them by hand. Fine. Fine. Okay, so let's go to the end. I guess it's not the end because we have that. Okay, so we've got about the authors, sign up for the newsletter, probably need a .in .com. Let's see. should probably put Elisa first, because she was pretty much the first of the beta readers. In fact, should I just put them alphabetically, since they don't... Yeah, I'll do them alphabetically. From first name. Right. Boy, no matter how many times I look at that, that looks like that can't possibly be the right spelling. Oh, and where is my other friend? Shoot. Better look him up before I forget. What is his last name? Mike. Am I not LinkedIn friends with him? Okay, I must be Facebook friends with him. There he is. Cleveland. M does come after J, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Yes. Now I lost my document with the rest of the words and the names. L, M, N. Let's see. There was another person who recently, that one. C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K. Okay, go here. Why don't I see Brian Shap? EFGHIJ. It'd be so cool if I had that magical power to be able to know what letters came before and after other ones without going through the whole alphabet. Okay. So everyone, I think, for now. I wonder, is there a way to do a, I don't know how to do that fancy thing where you break up those letters better. I'll need to reread through this, but I'm not going to do that on the stream. Okay, that's fine for this. Let's call it a night on the Word document. And let's finish up my trees. So that in theory, I could hit the ground running on the map tomorrow. That's my big hope and my big dream. Hopes and dreams, thoughts and prayers. Okay, time to get snuggly. Sigrid, book 2 comes out on when it's ready. I'm really hoping, I'm shooting for 2 months after the first one. I think that's conceivable in the best possible world. Faster we can get them out, the better. Sigrid, you beta readed for me, didn't you? I'm sure you did. Why are you not on here? Why are you being so lazy? How do you want to be named on the document? Sigrid? Yeah, I did a really bad job of keeping my list of beta readers updated for some reason. Let me just copy and paste this whole thing into this document. That's a faster way to do it. Sigrid Sol Carol. That's how you pronounce that, right? That's how I assume you say your last name. Is not beta read on no 3. Soulless son. Are you asking if 3 is available to beta read? If that is your question, the answer is yes. It absolutely is ready to be beta read. Sooner the better. Let me see if I have you in my email. Sigrid. For For some reason, maybe I have you in my other Gmail. I've been trying to get all the Tales from Talifar stuff over into my Breath of Life dev. Oh, are you Bodyfly Healing? I won't say the whole address publicly, but I assume that's who you are. Yes. Let me copy that. And it was misspelled the first time you sent me the link. And so now I have two. I think that's the right one. God, I hate how Gmail like hides the actual emails from you. It just wants to show you the name. And can I copy this? No. Why do you make it so hard? Okay, I can copy from in here. Whew. That was ridiculous. Okay. So have you read all the way through book 2? Have you consumed it already? Why do I not have a beta reader version? Am I looking in the wrong place? Documents, that's where I was putting it. Scarred King 1. In the root? Oh, it's in the root of my OneDrive. That's dumb. I'm gonna rename this Scarred King 3. Beta reader. Okay. Almost finished with 2? Okay. Tell me something. I'm paranoid. In book 2, there are a good handful of chapters in the middle after Beaumark clears out the temple from those flying Dridian monsters. He's on the road with Skola for like 4 or 5 chapters. And there are wonderful character moments, wonderful plot revelations, reintroduction of a character you thought was gone, and stuff like that. What there is not in those chapters is action. Much. I mean, a little here and there. Some like fantastical world building, like here's some amazing castle or rock formation or trees that do weird things. You know what I mean? Just like some weird element of the fantastical. It doesn't have those elements. And every time I read through that section, I personally am entertained and enjoy what's going on, but I have this worry that it's like kind of sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the rest of the 3 books. That, well, I guess it's maybe more similar to the first half of the first book in that sense. But I'm just curious if you felt that same way. Did you feel like the tone or the pacing or whatever was in conflict with the rest of books 1 and 2 that you have read so far? $12.16 cost $24.33 in customs. Ugh. You guys and your import taxes. I guess on the plus side, you get free healthcare. Likes to get a picture of the world and the people, just as in number 1. That is not always action, but that you also feel with the people because they are well described. I'm on the right layer, right? Yes. And a year of maternity. Nice. That's awesome. Out of curiosity, does that customs tax, does that apply to digital things as well? Like digital music and books and movies and stuff? I would assume it probably does. It just doesn't have the justification of being like, well, this physical item had to be handled by people and blah blah blah, you know. Oh, you just want the paper version. Okay. Well, hopefully at some point I get a job. That'll be a top priority. I'll get a job, and then the book will sell well enough where I can feel comfortable sending all of my beta readers a physical copy, you know, physical signed copies of the books in my ideal world, and maybe even a little statue. But man, sometimes shipping to Europe, it's like, that will be $300 for this 5-ounce package, please. Where's your friend live? Like just across the border? I guess over in that part of the world there's borders pretty much everywhere. Not too far from you wherever you live. Unless you're like dead in the middle of Germany or France or something. Hollywood. So really, paying shipping from, assuming you mean Hollywood, California in the US, shipping from the US is cheaper than your duty tax or whatever? And I can't believe that customs is more than shipping. Like every time I've shipped something to Europe, it's been like at least 10 times more than the value of the item I'm shipping. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe there's some method or organization that does it cheaper. Some secret mail cabal that I'm unaware of. Granted, I have very little experience in the process. I'm kind of indecisive about, I've got all these icons that I'm making for my map, right? And there's a community that's quickly growing up around this software for, you know, people who want to make maps. And a lot of people are sharing and or selling their custom icons like the ones that I'm making. I kind of feel like if I just gave them away, but they, you know, it's under the title Tales from Talifar, that would help with name brand recognition, because a lot of the people doing this stuff are definitely right in the prime demographic. You know, they're dungeon masters who are working on their role-playing campaigns, or they're just fans making fantasy maps of, you know, IPs that they like. You know, just generally fantasy nerds. So it seems like it would be a good idea to do that. The downside is then, if it's a popular pack, you're going to start seeing, you know, the same art you see in the Tales from Talifar book, also, not exactly the same art, but the same looking art because of the icons, in lots of things I have no quality control over, right? Like, someone could put them together in really awful ways, or they get overused, you know, kind of like the way Monty Python gets overquoted, and then it's less funny because so many people have overquoted it so many times. I would hate for all my maps in my books to look, you know, cheap because of the perception, like, oh yeah, I saw this on my last time I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. My DM, you know, custom made a map for us, and it looked just like the maps in your book. So your book must be cheap, like something my DM would make, you know, in his bedroom on his spare time. It's a little bit torn on that. Man, I should totally do a set of giant bones. trying to think if there's there ever be a geological reason that a bunch of partially exposed giant fossil bones could be protruding from the ground in interesting ways. I know the Burgess Shale in Canada is kind of like that, but it's not. It's kind of like when you hear the phrase petrified forest, you get a vision in your mind of like literally a forest of standing trees, but the trees are all made out of stone, right? And that's never what it is. It's always a pile of, you know, kind of pretty brown yellow rock shards on the ground. And I'm wondering if would ever be a phenomenon where, you know, say a layer of silt has washed away recently and that leaves a bunch of big dino bones just like sticking out at crazy angles and stuff. It's one of those things where I've seen it in enough video games and movies where, like, if I don't have it in my world, I'll be fine with that, because I want to also be original. That's part of the thing of doing things with scientific plausibility as a baseline, is that whatever my particular twist on it would be, it would not be like you see in movies and games, because they seldom, if ever, care about scientific plausibility. Hey Moonchiki, how you doing? Are you East Coast of the US or are you Europe? You slept in? Okay, good. I figured I'd get a bunch of Europeans I don't normally see if I streamed in the middle of the night. I guess it's 4 a.m. here right now. So not really middle of the night anymore, more like end of the night, getting close to morning. Got addicted to a channel and now you can hardly get away from there. Not enough time to watch all I watch and still play, eat, and sleep. What channel is it? I mean, it must be great if it's pulling you away from all of that other cool stuff. Licky Shop TV. What kind of program is that? Gaming news and promote their own company. Okay. And what is addictive about them to you? Is it personality? Is it style? Is it just exactly the right kind of content? Information about exactly the kind of stuff you want to hear? Hosts are awesome and funny. Cool. I like awesome and funny. I also like dressing like a Jedi, as you can see. You're talking about on Twitch, right? Yeah, every once in a while the Photoshop paint splashes off the screen. I don't want it to mess up my beautiful Spirited Away white and black t-shirt. Look how pretty it is. No, it's more that we don't have the heat running in the middle of the night or at 4 a.m. I'm best when I'm EU friendly, except for being extremely sleepy. Actually, I don't quite feel sleepy. I feel exhausted. I've been on my butt in front of the computer right here for, let's see, what time did I get up? At 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. is 12 hours. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 hours. Is that right? No, 17, 18 hours. I've been going straight 18 hours. I've only been up to prepare food once. And then I got a slight bit of exercise doing some physical therapy / massage for my wife. Other than that, I've been right here all day. So that's why Europe gets the pleasure of my company right now. Congrats, you guys. Congrats. April 1st, book's coming out April 1st. It's gonna happen, whether I like it or not. Yeah, why can't we all just be in the same time? 6 to 9 hours in the past. Yeah. Welcome to this delightful morning, you guys. "12-hour shifts? Wow. That's pretty intense." I guess that's one way to be profitable, just to have a slave laborer. I need to consider that for my channel. Is it an American show? Wow, that's a lot of international flavor there. What language is the stream in? I would guess English with all that mix. Yeah, I don't understand what the point of teaching French in countries that are not on the border of France is. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what the lingua franca of the world is, but I shouldn't say that. I really enjoy not having to learn another language to be able to speak to a lot of other people in the world. That's awfully darn nice. But I would never be one to insist that it has to be English. It's just awfully convenient for me that it happens to be that way. So I'm not going to argue. Although I did make a list of the top 10 things that I think are major weaknesses in my intellectual and maturity life. And on that top 10 list, being unilingual is definitely up there. Obviously not enough to do anything about it, but it's there. I maintain my disappointment in myself. purposely made this head look like a rock. What do you think of that? This head looks a lot like a rock, doesn't it? What I meant to say is I purposely made this rock look like a head a bit because it's a landmark in the obstacle course race that Beaumark partakes in one of the chapters. And since I'm doing a map for every chapter, this map is going to be a map of the obstacle course. And one of the things they have to climb over is Old Man's Head Rock. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but something along those lines. Old Head Rock? The Old Man? Something like that. It's pretty common. A lot of areas have a rock that looks vaguely like a person's head. Oh, thank God you're back. Okay. I was worried about you. Did the car dealer sell you a great car? Blue Clobber says, I go so far as to say for the working environment, Mandarin and Latin are way more important than French. Yes. Yeah, if I was going to choose a language to learn, and I have actually started this process 2 or 3 times in my life, it would be Spanish. Certainly for living in the US, that has got to be the fastest growing language group. Mandarin, that's a whole nother ball game. Like you gotta be mega good at learning languages to get through that, from what I've been told. But an almost new December. Oh yeah, I did almost exactly the same thing. Bought a car that had, I want to say, 14,000 miles on it. I forgot. I don't know if it's the same way in Europe, but in the US, you're supposed to go through this whole obnoxious bidding battle back and forth. It's a battle of wits. Who will win? The salesman or the customer? And I hate that so much with a burning passion. I hate it so much I forgot to do it, and I just paid the very first price that was offered as though I was, you know, buying something from a menu or going to a big box retail store and buying a game. Like, oh, it's $60. Here's your $60. Instead of like, well, we're looking at several other games at other game dealerships, so we'll come back later. Like, oh, you want to talk to your manager? Okay, we'll wait for you to talk to your manager. Oh, that game just pisses me off so much. I hate it. I hate that you have to play a ridiculous game to buy a car. Yeah, a mile is 6.2, or sorry, a kilometer is just over a half of a mile, like 6.2 of a mile, if I recall. I just did a little conversion chart for my maps, in fact, because I want the book to primarily say its units in metric, which is great for the rest of the world that's not the US, and awful for me because I was raised in the US under the ridiculous imperial system, and it's not natural or intuitive to me at all. So I put on the map, I put both. Really, Sigurd, you like the sales game? Oh. Oh, good. It's always good for one of you to enjoy it. It just infuriates me that it's mandatory. Because, yeah, there's some portion of the population who likes it, but I have a feeling the vast majority are simply, like me, are just taken advantage of because it's not a game I care to learn. I don't like anything about it. I don't feel good if I win or lose at it. I feel bad both ways. Like, I just want to pay a fair price. Why does that have to be a game? How many sticks and stones are 10 meters? Good question. So in Beaumark's Island, they don't use meters or miles. They use strides. A stride is a meter. And ropes. A rope is 100 meters. So 10 ropes is a kilometer. And then for time, they use candles. So one candle is an hour. But they also have candle marks, where they mark a candle at a regular interval so that you can get shorter times as needed, usually just for ceremonies. Most pre-industrial societies just never had a need for precise time measurement. They also count things in heartbeats if they need, like, short things. Wait 10 heartbeats. Winchiki, want to say I just watched Life of Brian like a month or two ago. I had not seen it in many years. That's the one that opens up with the old people at the accounting firm or whatever, and then the ship takes off and they become pirates. I don't remember the haggling scene. What was the haggling scene in that one? What were they haggling over? There's a good another good Monty Python haggling scene where at the argument clinic, where the entire argument revolves around whether or not he had paid for an argument, and then about what an argument actually was. Price is often set high enough for you to negotiate, and if the seller is not satisfied, he can just say no. I know that's how it works. I hate it. I don't want to find that sweet spot. I want to pay a fair price. You know, they gotta make a living, that's fine. Like every other product in the universe, you can just base a business model on making a certain percentage and go with that. They didn't make a rope a meter. They made a rope 100 strides, and a stride is essentially a meter. They're not super precise because they don't need to be. It's just like they're sailing their canoes between islands on an archipelago, and they know, you know, it takes about 300 ropes to get from village A to village B, right? Moonshiki, that's like it's like a bookend skit in that movie, if I recall. Like the movie opens up with these old people working in this old financial institution of some sort or another, and then it cuts to like these cutting edge, like 80s, you know, business shark young people in suits and everything, and for whatever reason, they set sail on the building and it goes through the city, and then they invade the other bank or whatever it is. And then from there it just cuts to the life of Brian, and then it does all the other random stuff it goes through, and then at the very end I think it goes back to the ship. After the guy plunges off the cliff being chased by topless women in helmets. As you do when you choose your own method of execution. Wait. Life of Brian. Oh, you're right. I got it mixed up with the meaning of life because they both have the word life in it. Wow. I saw Life of Brian even more recently. I saw it like a couple weeks ago. Yes, now I remember the haggling scene. The guy keeps insisting on... Does he like go down in price as he haggles? The guy selling the whatever it is, it's like a lamp or... Right, they're trying to escape and they need to buy something quickly to escape. Like a scarf or something. Now I know what you're talking about. And now I agree. That was awesome. Sorry about the confusion. It's language barrier. You understand. So I've got these trees that are like just the bottom stump parts. Oh, I missed this one. For maps where I want to be like under a forest canopy. Thought it'd be cool to just kind of have them fade off into darkness. Alright, Sigrid, thanks for hanging out. Gonna play with a snotty 2-year-old. Have fun with that. Don't catch a cold. No problem, Moon Cheeky. Have fun with your true love. I don't mind being the second-class paramour who's just waiting in the wings for whenever you get tired of your true love. You know, you're only allowed to like one thing? Jeez. Alright, I think we're ready for the color. So how did I multiply? Yeah. Doing the driftwood is kind of silvery blue. Look, then it hurt to mix in a little bit of warms in there as well. What color am I gonna do the rocks on the beach? I think I just want them to be kind of dark gray. They're volcanic in origin. Not that all volcanic rocks need to be black or dark gray, but hey, global bro. Creativity is something you can learn. There are tricks that you can use to outsource creative thinking, such as randomized lists that create juxtapositions for you. So for instance, if you're like, I want to create a new monster that's never been done before, you could go to a website that will bring up random animals, right? You can just mix two of them, and then additionally you could bring up a list of minerals, for instance, and be like, oh look, topaz, or beryl, or gold, or crystal, whatever it is, right? And then be like, okay, now I'm going to mix that with the elephant alligator. And then you get, so that's what I mean by juxtapositions. You can outsource that process so that you're not having to generate that on the fly in your brain. So your brain parts are free to not be creative. And then that's just like one kind of trick. There are multiple kinds of those tricks. And so you can practice those things and act more like a creative person, or if you're already a creative person, that can sometimes bump it up a notch. I do think that just the ability to riff on random things like I just did is more of a skill that you just kind of have or don't, because I think creativity in general is a function of the ability to let your the ability to regulate your prefrontal cortex down, to down-regulate it, and stop blocking the signals that so the prefrontal cortex is kind of the meaning maker of your brain, and it takes the data that your brain's always generating noise, right? And you know this because when you sleep, the prefrontal is down-regulated, and so you're not editing. You're not self-editing. And the stories that your brain tells yourself are wacky as a result. They don't make any sense on close scrutiny. And so I think what's happening when creative people are being creative is we're just like, I'm going to ignore the censor. I'm going to ignore the meaning maker that's trying to tell me, no, that doesn't make sense. You can't do that. And then another shortcut to creativity for a lot of people is substances like drugs, or other like extreme sensory experiences like sensory deprivation, sensory overstimulation. You know, like the hanging yourself from hooks, that sort of thing. Dehydrating yourself, starving yourself. Like all these kind of things can kick your brain into a different mode that will essentially downregulate your prefrontal cortex. But to me, the biggest skill, and what I don't see happening with people who rely on substances and other kind of extreme forms, is the ability to then bring back, so you generate a bunch of ideas, a bunch of juxtapositions, and most of them are bad. They're just not cool, not fun, not creative. Well, it depends on how you define creative, right? They can be all those things, but they're not useful for what you're doing usually. And so a lot of the trick to creativity is then culling and curating the list that gets generated by the downregulating of the prefrontal cortex. You need to upregulate it afterwards and bounce back and forth between those two states. I think that's the true, that's where truly creative people are executing on that level. They're able to work seamlessly between those states, or bounce back and forth so fast that it's perceived as seamless. Hope that helps. Probably didn't help. What kind of work do you do, Global Bro, that you need creativity for? I mean, creativity can be applied to literally every human endeavor, so just curious. So my thoughts on creativity are often like so marginal to what most people need creativity in their lives for. Most people don't need to come up with monsters, you know, for a living or for their relationships or job or love life or whatever it is that creativity is useful for. Math physics student, I want to start doing some things that are not so stale. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of creativity involved in math and physics. It's certainly well beyond my scope. think I can do highlights with chalk, please.
Who just subscribed? Burgle, thank you for the subscription on the YouTube. You guys know I have a YouTube channel? Just check it out. Got tutorials and stuff on there.
some grunge. That's set to multiply. Seems to be doing its job. Alright, well, it's almost 5 a.m., so I should probably go to Sleepy Betty Bye if I ever want to have a semblance of a normal, healthy sleep pattern again in my life. Let's see, I did that? Yes. Okay. Let me real quick, I haven't done this recently. Trying to see if I have any friends who are streaming right now. I do not. Wow. I have no friends. It's okay. Next time. We'll do it next time, guys. Yeah. So check out my my website, breathoflifedev.com, if you want to see cool stuff, and subscribe to my newsletter so you'll see when my book comes out. breathoflifedev.com. There you go. Okay. I'll see you guys on the flip side. I'm going to sleep some, then I'm going to get up, and I'm going to be doing more of this. Hopefully more stuff that is like directly putting this in the map and not so much just coloring things over and over again. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Good times will be had by all. So, yes, see you guys next time. Bye.